Jinkies, we got a mystery to solve.
Gosh, Scoob, I'm scared. Reggie, I'm scared too.
Hey everybody, so today I got a movie review for you guys. It's an animated movie review of the newest installment of the Scooby Doo franchise called Scoob. I'm a pretty big fan of Scooby Doo. I grew up watching it. It's just a fun show with a fun concept. I also occasionally enjoy watching it as an older person. So Scoob is an origin story for the Mystery Gang. So it shows you how the Mystery Gang came together. It's also a story of like a boy and his dog. And then the other side of the plot, Dick Dastardly, who's the villain of the film, is trying to capture Scooby. He needs to use him to unlock this giant mythical dog. I have mixed emotions about this film. I did enjoy the film and I don't regret watching it. It wasn't a waste of time, it was a fun, enjoyable film. But the parts that I have mixed emotions about, it didn't really feel like a Scooby-Doo film. A lot of times Scooby-Doo for me is like a bunch of teenagers and they're a talking dog and they go in a mystery and then they unveil the mask, that kind of thing. That's what I expect from Scooby-Doo. But this movie is kind of different. And I do appreciate studios for making things different, especially with franchises that are known to work, like Scooby-Doo, the formula for Scooby-Doo works time and time again. So it doesn't make sense for them to try something new. So I'm glad Warner Brothers tried something new with their franchise. I just didn't really feel like it felt like a Scooby-Doo film. Also because of half of the film, Scooby and Shaggy and the rest of the gang are split apart. So that's one reason why it doesn't feel like a Scooby-Doo movie. Also the other half, it's felt different because this movie is supposed to set up a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. It would be funny if this is the universe that works out for Warner Brothers. We couldn't do Batman and Superman right, but we can do Yogi Bear and the Flintstones. Something this film did well is that when I heard they were going to have a bunch of different Hanna-Barbera characters pop up in this film, I literally thought as the gang was doing their mystery, different Hanna-Barbera characters were going to pop up boom, 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 just pop up in random scenes as they're doing their mystery. And I'm super glad they didn't do that, because that would have probably made the movie very confusing. And what they did with the Hanna-Barbera characters really good, they added them into the story. Dick Dastardly is known as the villain character in the Hanna-Barbera, I wouldn't say universe, but as Hanna-Barbera characters go, he's known as the villain character. So it makes sense to make him the villain. They also had Blue Falcon and Dynamite. And one thing I didn't like that they did with Blue Falcon is he's supposed to be this superhero kind of character, though they made him a very scared character. It was funny at times, but then the joke got overused and got boring. I didn't really like that. There was one character that randomly popped up and didn't really have much to do with the story. That was Captain Caveman. He is one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera characters. I just like him. I like how he screams Captain Caveman! Scream that a lot when I was younger. He was the only character in the film that randomly popped up, but he popped up in a good location on the mountain. Makes sense because he's a caveman. And plus the scene he was in was really funny. That was probably the funniest scene. Well, to me it was the funniest scene. Regards to the voice acting in this movie, a lot of people online weren't happy that they recasted the voices of the Mystery Gang with celebrities. I didn't really mind, the voices weren't bad at all. And I know I've said this 1,000 times in reviews, I've said this over and over again, that I'm not a huge fan of celebrity voices. That's because I ain't really a huge fan of celebrity voices. But if the voices are good and aren't annoying, then I'm fine with it. I know voice acting does matter when it comes to an animated movie. The voice of Shaggy was a bit weird at the beginning, but once I got used to the voice and this new style of Shaggy, I was absolutely fine. I don't really understand why they replaced the voices of the Mystery Gang, since they have these people that have been doing it for over 20 years and have the voices down to a T, so why do they need to replace with celebrities? I guess it's because celebrities sell movies these days, which kind of sucks, you choosing people that aren't really that good over people that are actually talented and know what they're doing. I guess that's Hollywood for you. There was one voice in the movie that got onto my nerves, and that was the voice of Captain Caveman. Holy crap! The voice of Captain Caveman sucked! Whoever did the voice of Captain Caveman sucked. It didn't sound like a caveman. He didn't go ooga ooga or do anything, any like caveman noises, or even sound like Captain Caveman from the original show. Like if you're going to be voicing a classic cartoon character, and a cartoon character, like a nostalgic character to people, and you're using these characters to sell your movie, at least get someone who can do the voice of the character properly. Like this guy sounded nothing like a caveman. He literally just had a deep voice like, "Hey guys, I'm Captain Caveman." Like it was kind of like that, just a guy with a deep voice. And it was nothing special. Though he did do the scream of Captain Caveman perfectly fine, but besides that, the voice of Captain Caveman was horrible. Another thing when it came to the voice acting, and this has to do with young versions of the characters, none of the young versions sounded bad, but like I wasn't a huge fan of the voice of Shaggy, like young Shaggy. When you go back and watch like episodes of a pup named Scooby Doo, you would see that Shaggy, like he does have that kiddish voice, but he also has like that shagginess to his voice. I don't really know how to explain it, but he's got like that gosh man. That sounds more like goofy, but the point I'm trying to make is he still had that shagginess to his voice. But in this movie, young Shaggy just had a typical cartoon kid voice, which wasn't really happy with. I would have happy to sound more like Shaggy and kind of like how young Shaggy sounded like in a pup named Scooby Doo. The animation in this movie was absolutely standard. Like it wasn't amazing animation, but it wasn't like terrible animation. It was basic 3D animation, nothing special. It wasn't like hard to look at, like it was like fine animation to look at. Like it didn't really like ruin the movie. It wasn't like that bad animation. It wasn't like so bad that it made the experience of watching the film bad. But like it was just standard 3D animation. And like we've gotten so far in technology and like how we make movies nowadays that you can make like these super cool, unique animation styles. Like it kind of sucks like this animation style because this is just standard 3D. And some of the animation in this movie looked a bit plasticky. Not really like the main characters in the film looked plasticky, but like in the beginning scene of this movie they're showing Venice Beach in California, and some of the characters are just walking by in like the beachfront there, looked very plasticky and didn't really look that nice, like pleasing on the eyes and that kind of thing. But as the movie went on, the animation didn't look that bad, like it wasn't bad to look at. I would have liked more of in this movie was more of the origin story, because that was the most interesting part to me, like learning how the mystery gang came together and how Shaggy and Scooby met. Like I really enjoyed those parts, and those were like the most interesting to me. So I would like way more of that. They basically only had that for like the beginning of the film, and then they went on with the whole plot with Dick Dastardly and that kind of thing. So I would have liked more of that in the movie. That's just my opinion. I really enjoyed those scenes and learning the history of the gang. So yeah guys, that's all I really got to say about this film. So what would I rate this film from 1 to 10? I'll give this movie a 5. This movie is just average. So if you're a fan of Scooby Doo and you're a fan of like Hanna-Barbera cartoons like the Flintstones and Wacky Races and those kind of classic cartoons, then you will enjoy this movie. But if you're looking for like a standard, like normal Scooby Doo, like mystery, like pulling the mask off of someone, that kind of mystery, then you won't really enjoy this film. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on Scoob if you've watched it. So do I think they should carry on and try and make this Hanna-Barbera universe like they're planning to do, what they're setting up in this movie? In my opinion, I really think they should continue with the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe idea. And they still should make movies based on the Hanna-Barbera characters, but in my opinion they should just make like a Scooby-Doo movie, a Flintstones movie, a Wacky Races movie. Like just make like separate movies based on those franchises and then carry on with that. I think that's the best way to do it, but that's just my opinion. But if they really do want to do this whole crossover and like cinematic universe idea, then I think Wacky Races is the best franchise to do it with, because Wacky Races, like the show, was originally basically just a crossover show. Like Dick Dastardly and Muttley were in Wacky Races, also had their own show too. So that's why I think that one would work for the best if we carry on with this crossover thing. That's all I gotta say. Peace!